How to do leg elastic for a leotard. This is a catalog costume that needs new elastic. You'll need 3/8 inch elastic. I use knit elastic, but a lot of people say you should only use this braided elastic. First, you need to measure your leg hole. I got 14 on this leg hole. I cut my elastic 80% of that, but a lot of people do 85%. So I'm gonna cut my elastic at 11.2 inches for a 14-inch leg hole. And then cut 2 pieces of elastic at the length that you just got. Now sew it into a circle. And then mark 1 spot on your elastic and find the halfway point. You should also quarter your elastic so that you have 4 spots marked on your piece of elastic. I only marked 2, but do as I say, not as I do. Now that your elastic has at least the halfway points marked, go to the leg hole and mark your halfway points there. Basically, you want to make sure that your elastic is evenly stretched throughout the leg hole. Some sewists prefer to put not a lot of stretch in the front and then all the stretch in the back of the leotard, but I've noticed that store-bought leotards typically have the elastic stretched throughout, so I just stretch the elastic evenly. Now to sew the elastic in, I use a zigzag stitch on my regular sewing machine, and I set my stitch length and width to 3. The most important thing when you're sewing your elastic is to stretch the elastic, but do not stretch the leotard, and try to keep the elastic close to the edge and just keep adjusting all the way around. Then you'll flip your elastic down and sew over the edge. Again, I'm set up for a zigzag stitch. And since you're using 3/8 inch elastic, you'll set your seam allowance to 3/8 inch. You want half your zigzag stitch on the elastic and half of it off the elastic. When you're done, this is what the inside will look like. It looks a little bit cleaner if you use a serger and that edge is cut perfectly clean, but the top zigzag line is my first stitch and then the bottom one right on the edge is my second one. From the outside, this is what it looks like. I know I gave a lot of information, but I just wanted to give everything. Let me know if this was helpful. See you soon.